By 2030, the cybersecurity job you're training for might not exist. I know that sounds alarming, but I work as a senior cybersecurity analyst and I'm already seeing parts of my job get automated. The thing is, if a cybersecurity job involves continuous repetitive tasks, then you're likely at risk. In this video, I'll show you 5 reasons why jobs are disappearing, but I'm also going to talk about the opportunities of how you can stay ahead. Hi, my name's AJ, and on this channel, I teach all things cybersecurity for beginners, so let's get into it. First of all, there's always an illusion of safety in cybersecurity careers. While cybersecurity is still a great career to go for, and I still think it's going to be a great career to continue in the future, things do always change. I've been in cybersecurity for 10 years, and technology has changed drastically over those 10 years. And now AI and automation is a new technology being introduced into cybersecurity, and it is going to change many of the jobs that are out there. So you should always remember that when you're going into a field such as cybersecurity or any tech role, whether it'll be future-proofed will all depend on your ability to stay up to date with the latest skills. Now, I think tech and cybersecurity is always going to be a great career to move into, but I wouldn't always just think, okay, now I've got to this level, I'm going to be completely safe. With tech, with cybersecurity, you're always going to need to learn, continuously keep learning to stay ahead, and the introduction of AI is no different. It's clear to see over the history, so this is the NIST cybersecurity history, over the history of cybersecurity and computer security, things have always progressed and always changed. So as long as you keep this in mind and you can see and you can understand that tech and cybersecurity always changes, it's going to allow you to stay ahead. And the main thing that you want to do is understand the latest technology and how it can impact your job role. If you do that, then you can get closer to guaranteeing safety. Next up then, I believe automation is going to start to swallow those lower level roles. Now, if you imagine me as a senior cybersecurity analyst, I started in kind of a level 1, level 2 analyst role some years ago. Many of those roles I think are going to change, and the ones that have continuous actual repetition will be automated. So this is kind of the traditional cybersecurity analyst or SOC analyst, security operations center hierarchy, where you'd have your SOC analyst or your SOC manager with a team lead, usually 2 team leads, and then they'd have their cybersecurity analysts underneath them who they would be managing, and also their engineers as well. But where I'm personally seeing this change is that we've still got a SOC manager, but the team lead is morphing into an AI-based team lead who is still going to be managing human analysts, but they're also going to be managing the AI agent analysts who are going to be taking the level 1 and level 2 decisions. So they'll be building workflows, building automations, and monitoring those automations that will be taking those low-level actions. You'll still have the cybersecurity analysts like myself, but what's coming through, and I can tell you this for a fact because I'm actually working on helping to build these AI workflows in the companies that I work for. We're building things like AI agent email analyzers, AI agents for threat intelligence, AI agents for threat hunting. The human analyst is now going to have these AI-based tools to allow us to respond much quicker to threats. So like I said, things like instant response and analysis of events and alerts is still going to be done by a human analyst, but there's parts of it that are going to be sped up by AI agents, and the same for engineers as well. There's still going to be your human engineers, but they're going to have these AI agents and workflow tools to actually speed up the general day-to-day processes and workflows that they're actually doing. So the opportunities that I see still to become a cybersecurity analyst, but now your knowledge needs to be more at the senior level, and you need to be able to have that knowledge so you can apply for these roles that are asking for experience. And even though they ask for experience, by understanding the AI agent workflows, understanding how these teams are changing, staying up to date with how AI is affecting security operations centers, you can actually apply for those jobs without experience. But you need to build your experience with things like home projects, so setting up your own AI agents at home, for example, but you still need to understand the fundamental skills as well. So there is the case that these jobs are changing, but I don't think that opportunities are just going to disappear and the AI agent and AI and automations are just going to run everything in cybersecurity. I don't think that's going to be the case, but I just think this is going to be the modern version of a security operations center. And that leads into point 3, where the teams will begin to shrink and there are going to be rising expectations. So I actually think this is a good thing because it's going to increase the expectations and the knowledge required to get into cybersecurity, which is going to produce better candidates. It's going to make it maybe slightly more difficult. I don't think it's going to be that much more difficult to get in. I just think you're just going to be required to understand the more kind of senior knowledge rather than the more kind of entry-level knowledge, which is what a lot of these certifications and degrees are actually teaching. So I actually think it's going to make better candidates. It's also going to make more interesting work because, to be honest, the low-level, level 1 and level 2 analyst work, the more entry-level work, is not that interesting anyway. You always want to move into those more senior positions to be doing the more interesting work. So I think a lot of these workflow automations and these AI tools are just going to make work for a cybersecurity professionals much more enjoyable and much more interesting. And let's be honest, you can stay ahead by actually learning these workflow automations. So let's say that level 1 and level 2 analyst roles do get automated. Well, they're still going to need somebody to build those automations. So again, there's an opportunity there for you to be able to actually stand out and stay ahead. So you may have gone to university, you might be doing certifications, and you might understand these lower level, entry level tasks. Well, you can, if you understand them, you can just figure out how to build those workflow automations with something like Tines and Talk, which I'll show you shortly. But it's definitely not all doom and gloom, and I don't think all companies are going to completely remove the necessity of employees and analysts and they're not going to automate all tasks, because it's even this article here by Morning Brew. Some companies are rethinking their use of AI, and they've actually used AI more than what they might need. For some businesses as well, they still need that human touch, which AI is lacking. So there are lots of areas where human interaction is still required, and that's still the same in cybersecurity as well. For example, something like instant response, you still want a human there to be taking certain decisions, working with other humans to actually maybe contain a specific incident, but they'll just use AI tools to actually speed that up for them. So again, it may sound like doom and gloom, but I actually think there's a lot of positivity in it, and it looks like some companies are rethinking the use of AI as well. So I personally think what you need to do is just to start to understand artificial intelligence, how it's affecting cybersecurity, and most importantly, how to protect these AI tools as well. So one of the main reasons that these companies are rethinking the use of AI is because they've jumped on board far too quickly and they haven't learned how to secure it. So again, there's another opportunity where it comes to understand how to learn to protect these AI systems, which many of these companies aren't actually thinking about. Point 4 then is that I actually see a rise of one-person cybersecurity companies. So you can imagine this as a AI consultant or an AI cybersecurity specialist, and so I think these jobs will begin to be created a lot more as maybe other low-level roles start to get removed. These AI agent consultants, you could go into a company, start to assess maybe the cybersecurity workflows, some of the security operations center workflows, and start to make recommendations on how they can automate certain processes. I really think this will be something that will come through, if not so already, where these people will be consultants. You'll go into a company, assess what AI agents can do certain workflows, and then make recommendations. I also think these consultants could also go in as maybe threat modelers or maybe like red team specialists or like AI protection consultants, for example. So let's say a company wants to introduce a new AI tool like ChatGPT, for example, but they're going to be entering a lot of sensitive information into that tool. They're going to need to speak with these consultants then to be able to actually assess how to actually protect that data effectively, because more and more of these AI tools are going to contain and hold sensitive information that these companies are going to need to know how to protect it. So I believe when we see the introduction of these agentic AI tools, the increase in the use of LLM and AI-based tools, I think we'll see the rise of these one-person cybersecurity companies, which will be consultancies who will be on hand to help companies build these workflow automations and integrate these tools, but also teach them how to protect them and secure them as well. We'll begin to see the move then from an employee to more of an independent specialist. So these consultants, so they say that you wanted to come into a company, you could also do this as an employee as well. well. So these are the kind of things that I'm working on as a cybersecurity analyst, is building these workflows to automate certain processes in the security operations center. And this is an example of, so Elastic SIEM is one of the well-known SIEM solutions. And a SIEM is a tool that all cybersecurity analysts are using. So traditionally, the cybersecurity analyst would have just used the SIEM to respond to cybersecurity alerts. Now what's being integrated are tools like Times, which are workflow automation, and these AI workflow automation tools that are being used to create workflows just like this, where they're creating cases, sending a message to Slack, and then actually taking some action. So doing the IP reputation lookup, checking if it's malicious, performing the block on the firewall. Many of these tasks would often be done by level 1 and level 2 analysts, for example. But now these are examples of the workflows that are being built just to automate certain processes in the security operations center. Like I said, I don't believe everything is going to be automated. I still think there's going to be opportunities for beginners like yourself to get into cybersecurity. But I do think that these are some of the new skills that you need to start learning if you do want to stay ahead of many of the other job candidates that are out there. So what is the playbook to survive and to continue to work in cybersecurity beyond 2030? And I want to keep saying, I don't think the opportunities are lost. I actually think there's going to be more opportunities, but I do think the cybersecurity industry and overall tech industry is going to change with the introduction of AI and workflow tools. So step 1 then, you still need to learn networking, still learn the fundamentals of computer networking, because ultimately cybersecurity is about protecting networks. Maybe looking into something like the CompTIA Network Plus, for example. Then you want to learn cybersecurity fundamentals. CompTIA Security Plus is very good for this. Then it's about learning job skills. So picking a job. So if you want to become a cybersecurity analyst, pick the job, start to look at job descriptions and start to understand the skills that they're asking for. And once you've done the theory-based learning, these skills then need to be translated into home projects. And these home projects are what are going to allow you to apply for these jobs asking for experience. The certifications get you interviews. The home projects give you experience in those interviews to land a job. And then you also want to do your home projects as well, as it's got here, step 2. Pick one of these AI areas and then also do the learning and the home projects related to these AI tools. So let's say that you want to be a cybersecurity analyst, start to learn tools like Times, start to build workflow automations in a SIEM tool like Elastic, start to learn how these AI tools are affecting the role of a cybersecurity analyst, and then do home projects related to these jobs. And these are the kind of things you're going to want to bring up in interviews. Step 3, build proof publicly. So post to LinkedIn, create your own e-portfolio on GitHub, maybe even record your videos on YouTube. You want to build proof publicly that you not only understand cybersecurity, you also understand how AI is affecting cybersecurity as well, because ultimately then this is going to lean into step 4, which is going to allow you to market yourself as a cybersecurity professional who has these AI skills. And this is where the opportunity is now. This is what companies are looking for. They still want you to be a cybersecurity professional who can understand the fundamentals, respond to attacks, but now it's good to have these AI skills so that you can jump into a company, assess how to automate certain processes, how to speed up and make a security operations center more efficient, and by doing that with certain AI tools. So these are 4 steps that I highly recommend. If you did want to jump on a call to chat through this, we do free career strategy calls, and you can jump on a call with myself or with other people on my team. There's a link in the description where what we'll do, we'll give you a step-by-step plan, completely free, on exactly what you need to learn and what you need to do. And you can also access a copy of my resume and CV template as well. So if you want to do that, link is in the description. But ultimately, I do believe that there is going to continue to be cybersecurity jobs beyond 2030. I think the cybersecurity job market is just going to go from strength to strength, but I just think that jobs are going to change, which I actually think is a good thing, because that's what creates more opportunities. To conclude then, I do think that cybersecurity is going to change and definitely will change by 2030, but ultimately I think AI incorporated into cybersecurity is just going to create more opportunities that beginners like yourself can take advantage of. So I want to say thank you for watching this video. If you do want to now learn about a cybersecurity AI project, go and watch this video next, where you can watch my step-by-step AI cybersecurity project, where I show you how to integrate AI into a SIEM solution like Elastic. I want to say thank you for watching. I'll see you over there.